and doing it in a way that honors God and really soaking that in biblical principles. And so everything we're going to talk about today is also have some insight from the scriptures that will help us to really get better at sales, get better at business so that we can really attract more clients and have more impact. And so if you're joining me live, come and say hello. Right, so time in the Word Tuesday, we do this every Tuesday. And before I really start and go into today's word, just to remind you that we have our Abundance Now challenge that is starting next week, Monday. So next week, Monday, the 14th of October, in case, hey Shia, how you doing? Good to see you. And so if you haven't yet signed up, if you haven't yet taken part, so here's the thing, I'm going to talk about sales today. But do understand, and I say it in my video when you click on it, that most people don't even have a sales problem per se. I'm not that great at selling in the traditional way, but I'm very good at marketing. And so when marketing is done right, sales becomes very, very easy. Now, when you are good at marketing, you understand lead generation, okay? And you need to be able to have a steady flow of leads coming into your business, okay? And so what we're going to talk about in the Abundance Now challenge is, how do I set up my business with ease and grace? I love those two words, ease and grace, and have a sales system that can literally bring a steady flow of qualified leads to me every single day so I can sell on autopilot, right? How many of you would like that? Hey, Jeanette, how you doing? Good to see you guys. Come and say hi if you're joining me live. So in case you are here, you haven't yet joined, then there'll be a link in the description on how to join. So how many of you, let's interact. How many of you love sales or I'm don't like it so much? Let me know who's here. Even if you're watching the comments as well, comment below inside the comments if you're watching the replay, and also live. Let me know, do you like sales or not like sales? So just say yes or no. Do you like sales, don't like sales? Let me know in the chat so I can see who's here. Because thank you, Shia. Ease and grace, right? Because sales can be very, very enjoyable if it's done the right way. One of the reasons why it's not done right, or why people feel icky, should I say, with selling, and most people do, or most women, I would say, do feel icky when it comes to selling, is because we've had bad experiences. Anyone had bad experiences in sales? If you have had bad experience in sales, it's probably because someone tried to sell you something that you didn't really want, and it felt like they were pushing it on you. And so I remember some time ago, someone asked me in my Facebook group, like, Bookie, how do I convince someone to buy from me? And I was like, convince? Like, I don't convince anyone to do anything. Like, literally, I'm not that person. And so I was like, took me back, and I was like, okay, actually, no, because you have the wrong perspective. And so if you have the wrong perspective, you're going to put that perspective on yourself and feel icky because you have received an icky way of selling, right? And so I said to her, no, I don't convince anyone. I don't try and convince anyone to buy from me. That's not the point. What I do instead as a marketer and as a businesswoman is I've learned the art of having to build a desire. Someone say build a desire. Build a desire in a potential client who actually wants the thing that I have or has the problem that I know I can solve. And so I've learned the art to build a desire in that person's heart so that they desire to inquire about what I do, right? And so the art is not trying to convince somebody and trying to, like, get them to buy what they don't want. But no, it's actually opening their eyes and revealing that you have something really valuable that they actually need. And so when you understand the dynamics of actually understanding your person and what you have and making sure it's a good match, then sales becomes really a really authentic process, because you're actually, I'm going to show you the scriptures as well, that we are commanded in a sense to sell. I'm going to show you the scriptures. Don't worry, I'm going to get to the scriptures soon. We're going to get to the scriptures. Okay, all right. So Jeanette says yes. Amika says yes. Helen says iffy, kind of, right? So I understand that. Yeah, sometimes it can feel a little bit iffy. Never for me because you're my coach. Shia, yes, I love that answer. That was the best answer. Because never feels icky because I've taught you the way to do it in a way that doesn't feel icky. So thank you for that Shia. Claire says good morning. Okay, Jeanette. All right, great. So the art of building a desire. Yeah, so do take notes, ladies. I'm going to be sharing with you things that you're going to take home and be able to use. Okay, so let's get down to business. All right, so we're talking about how to sell without selling, right? How do I, or selling, feeling that we are traditionally, pushing our thing onto somebody, in other words, because actually it's okay to feel like you're selling. It's okay to sell. It's good to sell, but it's when you feel icky about it, and we want to get that ickiness away. And how do we do that? This is what I'll be teaching you in more detail in the challenge, but so you understand the framework of what is needed, you must understand first and foremost that you have to have something really good to sell. Okay, right? If what you have isn't good or doesn't is not of good value, then you're gonna feel icky. Have any of you ever sold something like network marketers? Anyone network marketing in the house? So years before I started my business, I had been in several network marketing companies, and I remember I was part of an energy network marketing company. And like in the beginning, it was really good. I was selling it to my family and friends, as you do. But unfortunately, and so the energy prices of this company now started to soar. We started off with really good prices and really competitive, and then the energy prices began to soar. And so now my aunts are calling me, Bookie, like what did you sell me? And what and now I was feeling really bad, and I no longer felt authentic selling this thing, because I realized that actually what they told me was the product or the service wasn't what it said on the tin anymore. It wasn't what I initially thought it was. And so now I'm not gonna feel as good selling it, because the actual product or the service I'm selling wasn't up to scratch. And so you start with the service. Make sure the service is good. And so some of you, maybe you might, if you're new starting out and you're maybe a coach or your service provider and you haven't yet tested your services on somebody, I would recommend doing it, like doing that beta, right? Doing that and getting clients in at a very low price, not for free. You're hearing me? If you're new, not for free. Why not for free? Because when you do something for free, especially if you're brand new, they won't value it. Like you'll be trying to teach somebody something and they won't value that which you have given to them. So I recommend, if you are starting out and you're not sure how to kind of get your feet on the ground, I would recommend lowering your prices so you can begin to start getting people results. When you get people results, you will feel much more confident about your actual offer. Okay, and now you have an offer you can sell. You're building your confidence. Okay, this thing is really, really good. So now you're not trying to convince someone to come and get it. You're like, this thing is hotcake. Like, come and that. If you don't get it, you're missing out, not me. Do you understand? So you have an almost like an attitude behind your product or your service, because you know it's good. So you have to start there when it comes to sales. Make sure that what you're actually selling is good, and make sure that you have packaged it. I'll talk about that in more detail another time in the challenge, but we packaged it in a way that clearly communicates its value. Okay, that's fundamental. Like, you can be the best marketer, the best salesperson on the planet. If what you have isn't good, it won't sell very well. Okay, or people will soon find out that it's not very good if you're trying to kind of like, let them know. Yeah, so you with me? Let me know. So that's the first thing. And then you have to have a sales system, okay? And then you have to have traffic, okay? So there's the three elements I'm going to kind of unpack, but I'm going to focus more on the sales system. Now, before I do have a few scriptures for you guys, right? That I want to kind of highlight, which I'm going to think is really, really help you. So let's go to Proverbs 11. I'll put it in the chat. Proverbs 11. I want to focus on 26, but I actually just came across 25. I was like, oh yeah, that's so good. Like, the Bible, when you look at the Bible is really, really juicy, guys. So I'm going to do Proverbs 11:25. It says, the generous soul will be made rich. I put it in the chat for you guys to see. The generous soul will be made rich, and he who waters will also be watered himself. You guys have known that before, right? So the generous soul will be made rich, and he who waters will be watered. This is Bible. This is what God is saying. If we are generous and we are givers, I'm going to tell you what to give in a second. You will be rich. You will see plenty. You will have client inquiries. You will never have lack. You will have overflow. Paraphrase, right? And so if you water others, you yourself will be watered. But where I was actually going was verse 26, actually. And verse 26 says this. It says that, what have I done? 26 says, let me do that again. The people, oh, it didn't come up, sorry. The people will curse him who withholds grain, but blessing will be on the head of him who sells it. Can we just sit there for a second? I mean, I'm sure it's not coming up for some reason, but let me try again. All right, so it says this. The people, if someone can put that up for me, that would be great. The people will curse him. It's not coming up on my chat for some reason. If anyone else can do that, then feel free to do that for me. Verse 26 says this. The people will curse him who withholds grain, but blessing will be on the head of him who sells it. I.e., in other words, if you have something good, the people are going to curse you for withholding it. If what you have is now, if you have a juicy service, a great service, a service that will impact lives and transform people's lives, why on earth are you not selling it? Let's start there, okay? Bible says sell what you have. So I'm emphasizing this because I speak to many Christian women who maybe you use your life coaches, maybe you use the Bible. God has blessed you with expertise on how to use biblical principles and biblical insights on how to transform people's lives, but you're doing it for free. How many of you doing it for free? You're doing it for free for years and years and years and years and years and years and years. And now I want to show you this scripture that says, hold on, no. Just because you have insights biblically, you still have expertise, you still have skill. So you're not called to give that away for free, right? There are things that you can give away. I'm going to share with you how to do that and how to impact that. But the Bible is saying here, if you have something, thank you, Jackie, you're back. Jackie, I need you, please. Proverbs 11:26. It's not working. If you could help me put that in the chat. Can you someone just say thank you to Jackie for me? Jackie has been really, really helpful. God bless you so much, Jackie. This is live, right? Thank you, Claire. Right. He that withholdeth corn, the people shall curse him, but blessing shall be upon the head of him that selleth. Thank you so much for putting that there, right? So my point being here is that if you struggle with selling, fundamentally, here I hope this verse helps you to take that weight off, that no, if I have something good to sell, I should sell it. I should exchange value for value, because the person on the other side won't value it if they don't part with something. All right. How many of you have offered something to somebody or you've given something away and they haven't valued it, right? Like that happens a lot. So I wanted to going to start there. So for those of you that will help, I hope it does help you. Okay. So now you have something good to sell. Just very quickly, I want to just give you some tips on how to audit your offer. So if you have an offer and you want to know, is this offer, is it clear? Is it a good offer? Is it packaged well? Then I want to just ask yourself this question, okay? Does your offer have one specific outcome, okay? Does it have one specific outcome, all right? It's really important because how you communicate, which I'm going to teach you in a second, how you communicate really, really matters. And so if it doesn't have one specific outcome and your offer does all the things, then it's going to be hard for you to sell, because what happens when you use words give you a picture. Take that down, please. Words give you a picture. And so for example, I had a client who, I have a client rather, that when we first met, she was an overcomers coach. I said to her, what does that mean? I knew what it meant as a Christian. Overcomer, okay, cool. You're helping people to overcome and to live free in Christ. I get that. But you have to articulate that better. Otherwise, people are not going to be able to visualize the transformation through what you're saying. So one of the key things, how to sell without selling, is first to actually get clarity on what you're selling and to communicate the outcome really, really, really well. So what we had to do, if you're someone who maybe your outcome is not clear, ask yourself, can I picture the end result when I say these words? Because words are the key to your success in being able to sell without selling, okay? So ask yourself that question as an audit of your offer. So what I said to her was, rather than saying, okay, I help people to overcome and live free, it's very airy-fairy. We had to layer it down and break down exactly what that actually meant. So what's the transformation? What's the end result? And she had different things that she did, but then through those things, we looked at, okay, what is the things that people got the most testimonies from? What are the things that they actually said about the transformation? And we started to use the words that her clients were saying about what she was doing. And then we were able to then summarize. For example, went a bit deeper, but as an example, she helped women to overcome depression. All right. So depression was one area of overcoming that. Rather than just saying I'm an overcomer coach, we articulated it a bit more clearer. Does that make sense? So it's important for you to be able to sell with ease. Your communication has to be very, very clear. And it starts with the clarity of what you are actually selling. You with me? Okay, you with me? Say you're with me in the chat. Let me know you're with me, okay? Right, I hope that's clear. I'm just going to make sure. All right. Thank you. All right. Okay, excellent. Yes, I'm so happy, right? That verse will help a lot of people and set many people free. Excellent. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, guys. So the next one is, your sales system. Okay, and I'm going to be teaching the sales system in much more detail in the challenge. Again, if you're not signed up, the link will be in the description. And also, I've extended the ticket prices at $7, like literally. I'm extending it because more people want to join. So feel free to join if you want that. But I'm going to give you a framework right now to understand. A sales system is simply a vehicle or a method to turn a stranger into a buyer. Okay, a sales system. And there are several sales systems you can use online, but ultimately the outcome of a sales system is to turn someone who doesn't know me, never known me before, and turn that person into a buyer through a set of processes, intentional processes that you already implement. Okay, so we're gonna that's what a sales system is. And a sales system starts with a viewer, so there'll be a few new people watching me today as I'm on YouTube, right? They've never seen me before, and they say, okay, who's this person? They actually know I exist. Next, it'll become a follower. So someone might say, okay, that sounds interesting, and then they click subscribe. Okay, let's see what she's about. That's the follower. And then the next, which is the most important part before the sale, is it becomes a lead. The person has now, rather than just looked at me and clicked a button, the person has said, okay, actually, what I'm hearing, I want to exchange my asset with what you have. That is a lead. And so they're exchanging their asset of an email address with me in exchange for something that I'm going to give them. And so they are more intentional to find out more. Okay. So a sales system does that, a lot of it on autopilot, okay, or with intent and with a method. And that's what we mean by you have things in place in your business. You set your business up in a way that actually is happening. And so you have to build the system out, okay? And then from a buyer, we now convert them into a actual customer, okay? But whatever sales system that you use, it is wrapped around great messaging. Okay. Now the sales systems, there's different sales systems. So I'm going to break my specific one down in the challenge in more detail. But broadly speaking, a challenge is a sales system, a webinar, live streams, a posting system on how you post on social media. There are different ways you can actually have a sales system. Okay, you can have an organic kind of like funnel type, which I'll show you again in the challenge. But there's different ways that you can actually have a sales system. Okay, but no matter what sales system you have in your business, it must be wrapped around good messaging. And it's the good messaging, i.e. the communication, that helps you to sell without really selling. And it's the intentionality between the sales system and the communication that helps you to sell. Now, here's the good part. The wonderful part is that communication is not just words, but it is definitely words as well. And I have the Bible talks a lot about our words, but I just wanted to give you, I want to give you Proverbs 13 verse 2. Proverbs 13 verse 2, the Bible says, a man shall eat good. A man shall eat good by the fruit of his mouth. Love it, okay? So by the fruit of your mouth, what you say matters, okay? Now, when it comes to communication, this is what is really going to help you to sell with ease, okay? Are you with me? You ready? And make sure, let me look at the chat. You ready? Because these are the things in your communication that you need to have clarity on. Okay, thank you, Claire. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Janet. Thank you, guys. All right, thank you, Claire. I see you on the challenge. Fantastic. All right, so you ready, guys? So you have to understand these three things very clearly. You have to understand your person. Who exactly is your outcome for? Who is your offering for? And I say this a lot of the time, not a general target market, not women over 25, not Christian women in the marketplace. No, very specifically understanding the heartbeat of the person who is the best person for your offering. Okay, breaking it down. Okay, you have to really I'll explain in a second. And then number 2, you have to deeply understand their problem, right? deeply, not at a surface level, right? And by understanding their problem, you have to really get to know their value system, understand who they are as a person. You have to really get into nitty-gritty of who they are as an individual for you to be able to sell with ease. These things, you may have heard it in the tone of client avatar, but many people don't do this exercise very well and skim over it. And because of that, your communication is kind of like hairy fairy, right? So number 2 is the problem. And number 3 is the payoff. Clearly articulate the payoff. So you have your person, your problem, and your payoff. Person, who it is, your problem, what's their deepest pain, and the payoff. What is the result? What is the outcome of your offering, and how does it help them specifically, right? How does it help them specifically in terms of their desires? And you have to be able to communicate those 3 things. When you I said this to my clients yesterday when I was doing coaching. I was saying, listen, when you get to the point that you feel like a robot repeating yourself over and over and over again, you're doing good in your messaging, because you have to reiterate, you have to continue to talk about your topic over and over again and be clear on who it's for. For example, yes, I help Christian women in business, but not all women in business want to create wealth. And if that's you, I'm not for you. Specifically, those who want to build 6-figure businesses and beyond in their businesses, that's who my ideal client would be. Because not every business owner wants to have a 6-figure business, and that's okay. Do you understand? So it's not some people's values are very, very different. And some people would say, I don't need to have a 6-figure business, and that's okay. And if that's you, that's okay. But then that's not who I'm targeting, because even though, yes, you're Christian, yes, you believe the Bible, yes, you're in business, you haven't got a desire beyond 6 or at 2 6 figures or beyond. That's okay. But you have to understand your person who you are speaking to. Then if I understand who I'm speaking to, then I understand, okay, what's their limitations? What's the problems? What's their value system? What will they want to do and not want to do? You have to really get to the core of these things. And when you do, I'm telling you, I am telling you. So when I share content like this, I share it with intentionality. I know who I'm speaking to. I understand my ideal client. And so I speak from a place of understand. One of my favorite words just ever is understanding. Okay. If you can get understanding, right? And wisdom is applying that understanding, right? Your life will be better, okay? So take the time. And if you want to know how to do that in more detail, come along to the challenge. I'm going to show you how to do it, right? But those are the things that you need to know, okay? Now, this is what I really love as well. Not just your verbal communication. So now you understand, you have to understand the person, the problem, and the payoff. Person, problem, payoff. Person, problem, payoff. Person, problem, payoff. Take that to the bank, okay? That will help you. But communication is also in demonstration, okay? Communication is also in demonstration, okay? So, for example, right, you may say, oh, I love you, Bookie. You're so good. I love what you do. I love how you turn up. But behind the scenes, I see you, or I notice you backbiting, gossiping, saying, or maybe posting something negative about me. Your words or your action has shown me demonstration that what you have said, that you actually love me, is actually inaccurate. So when it comes to communication, your actual deeds communicate to people as well as your words. In fact, your deeds probably communicate even stronger than your words do. Okay? So what do I mean by your deeds? Let me tell you what I mean. I love this piece of scripture. I'm going to share it with you in a second, right? So, Jesus, our best role model ever, okay, shows us what it looks like to really be able to turn strangers into followers. I'll call them followers for now, but really, I mean like really, they're sold on Jesus and the message of the gospel. They're sold on him. They are disciples. They are sold on the message, right? So in that sense, you can kind of liken it to sales, right? Don't crucify me for that, but you know what I mean, okay? But when it comes to selling, it's about, we have to understand that people need to know you, be visible, like you, become a follower, and then trust you, okay, to give you what they become a lead or a buyer, okay? Know, like, and trust, okay? But when we see Jesus, right, he demonstrated his expertise. What do I mean? He showcased, not just spoke about the gospel in his mouth, but while he was doing good work and while he was preaching, he made the lame to walk, the blind to see, and he demonstrated what he could do. And when you read the Gospels really, really, really well, you'll see that when he did those signs and miracles, that's when people began to follow him because they saw what he could do. So, i.e., that means, are you demonstrating your expertise? Are you showcasing what you're about? Are you praying that someone will find you and know that you're brilliant? Or are you putting your brilliance out there? Okay? Putting your brilliance out there in a strategic way, so you're not giving everything away, right? Or you have nothing to sell. So you have to do it in a really wise way, but you have to show your brilliance. And so this is why this is the scripture I'm going to go to. Luke chapter 7. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I love this. So John the Baptist, yeah, we know he sends messengers, to go and see if what he heard about Jesus was true. Is he the Messiah? Is he the anointed one? This is so brilliant. I just love it so much, right? So John chapter 7, right? If you're there, verse 18. Are you there, Jackie? John chapter 7. All right, let me give you a head start, right? So verse 18 says this. It says, then the disciples of John reported to him concerning all the things. And John, calling 2 of his disciples to him, sent them to Jesus, saying, are you the coming one, or do we look for another? So they were asking, is this the Messiah? Is this the coming one? Or do we look for somebody else? Okay. So when the men had come to him, they said, John the Baptist has said to us, on your saying that, are you the coming one? Or do we look for another? And that very hour, so just picture this, guys. And at that very hour, as he asked them, are you true? Are you the true one? Are you the true king? Are you the Messiah? Are you the anointed one? Is it really true? What did Jesus do? At that very hour, verse 21, he said, he cured many of the affirmations, afflictions, and evil spirits, and to many blind, he gave them sight. Let's see if I can put that in the chat, right? Jesus then answered to him, and he said this, which I love, right? Thank you, Jackie, right? He said this. Jesus answered and said to them, go and tell John the things that you have seen, the things that you have heard, that the blind see, that the lame walk, the lepers are cleansed, the deaf hear, the dead are raised, the poor have the gospel preached to them, and blessed is he who is not offended because of me. You decide, am I the real deal? By the fruit of my work, you decide if I'm the Messiah. And he did it right there. So he answered them by his deeds. He communicated who he was by the act of his deeds. He did the miracles right in front of them and said, you go tell John what you see and what you hear. Am I true to my word? So i.e., am I true? Can I do what I say I can do? Can I really help somebody build a 6-figure business? Have I done it? Right? And so when I demonstrate that, it communicates your truth. Does that make sense? And so by you being able to showcase your brilliance and your expertise, you have to showcase it. Don't keep it quiet. Don't become the best kept secret. It won't serve you, okay? We're in the last quarter of 2024, okay? I was saying to my clients yesterday, listen, this is not the season to sit on your fingers. This is not the quarter to be doing things, what's it called? Like a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here. No, not at all. This is the season to showcase your expertise, your brilliance, your glory. Let the people know how great you are. Don't keep it silent. Don't be quiet, because when you showcase your brilliance, i.e. showcase your value, people will be like, wow, okay, I like what she's saying. I like what she's about. I like what I'm seeing her do. And then sales becomes so easy. Are you with me? Ladies and gents, if you're watching as well, okay? Is it making sense, all right? So it's like, and if I had to bring it back to today's age, it's basically simply really us modeling Jesus in the sense of, demonstrating what he's put inside of us, demonstrating that the value that we have, let people begin to see it. Like, don't keep it quiet, okay? You do that with intention, so that people can see that you are great at what you do. This by itself, like, I think there's a saying, I can't remember exactly how it is, but it's like, don't tell me how great you are, show me how great you are. Okay. And it's by so one of my things this year was my I call it loosely goals, but as like my becoming goal. I have this thing about, you have to become someone more to do more. You have to become that person. One of my things was I wanted to become better at helping getting my clients results, because the more you become better at helping others, the more it will just speak for you. It becomes like your business, it becomes easier. So my encouragement to you is to work on becoming the better version of yourself, becoming the better version of who you are, so that you can showcase more of your brilliance. And to the glory of God, yes, I've had 6-figure clients come through my doors, right? Or from not having 6 figures from scratch, and they've now left me building a 6-figure business to the glory of God. And so my mandate is now I want to help more people do that. I want to help more people do that. Like, how do I do that more, right? So my thing is, the more we can get better at our craft, the seed from the beginning. How the Bible say it? The Bible says this. Oh God, how did it say it? I always used to quote it basically as long as the earth remains, right? Seed time and harvest time shall not cease. That's it. Seed time and harvest time shall not cease. I said it last week, we've all been given a seed, right? God has given everyone a seed. And so if we plant that seed in Him, right, and we nurture that seed and do what we want to do for it to use all the different resources that we need to be able to grow that seed, then that seed will grow and attract an influx, an overflow of inquiries and clients, because now you have become that tree that is so beautiful and attractive that more people want to find out about your excellence and your brilliance and your glory, because you have spent time really nurturing your seed. And so the way you sell without selling and feeling icky really is to understand your person, understand their problem, understand your payoff, and articulate it very well. But then that's your verbal communication. But then by your demonstration, right? Your physical demonstration of what you can do, and showcasing that and not being quiet about it. Okay. And so get your expertise, your brilliance out there and serve. Basically, in summary, I'm saying the more people you serve, the more clients you will have. The more results you help people with, the more clients you will have. Like, I have started this business from scratch. Like I was saying to my clients, I never had like a warm market in a sense of people who I knew tell people that I'm doing this. No, I never had no warm market. It was literally cold. And my first clients were people who are in another country in the US of A, because I started from that place. I started from a place of servanthood, and I started from a place of just serving and showcasing my value, my seed. And from doing that and from service, people will want to find out more. So that's the way that you sell without selling. Okay, I hope that helps you, ladies. I hope. All right, so that is it for today. Literally, I hope it was short and sweet. If you are not signed up to the challenge, so in the challenge, let me just explain that the 5 days, I go into much more detail about your sales system, about the traffic sources so you have to have your offer, you have to have your sales system, you have to have your traffic, okay? And we talk about all of those 3 things in much more detail, because yes, you still need traffic flow and people to come to you, and you can do that organically and you can do that using ads. There's both ways, and I show different ways of doing that as well. And then also really how to build a sales system that is just makes life easier for you, so that the hustle can go. So you don't have to hustle, and you don't have to, just feel like you're grinding. I don't believe it's God's will for us to hustle and grind. I really don't. Because He's given us a seed and He wants it to multiply, then we just need to go to Him for the direction on how that is multiplied, and follow the principles of the Bible, right? And as we do that, I'm going to end with that verse I gave you in the beginning, which was, I think it was Proverbs 11 verse 25, which I love so much. It says that the generous soul, I'm going to end on that. The generous soul will be made rich. Okay. And so that's what I'm going to end on, in terms of our heart of serving will make you rich, is what God is saying. Okay. Be a giver of value, of your expertise. Be a giver. All right. Thank you so much, ladies. So I'm looking forward to the challenge. Next week, Tuesday, I probably won't be live at this time. It might be a pre-recorded video. We'll see what we'll do, because we're going to be having the challenge at that time. So if you're not signed up, make sure you're signed up. And I'm glad it has blessed you. All right. Let me see what the comments. Working on your showcasing in your graph, Jackie. Keep showcasing it. Honestly, don't hide it. Get it out there. Don't be silent. This is the quarter to be visible. This is the quarter to get, because, and here's the other thing. This is the reason why. Let me end on this, actually. The reason why you want to be more visible this quarter is because more people will be visible. I don't like to use the word competition, because I feel like, or saturation. I don't like to use that word. I don't think it's true. I feel like everyone's unique. But if no one knows your uniqueness, then they're going to choose somebody else over you. So it's better for you to get yourself out there and start to plan the end of this quarter so that you are much more visible and you're giving some really good content and some really good stuff. Okay. All right. So, ladies, thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Claire. Thank you, Jeanette. Thank you, everyone that's joining me live. And those that are watching the replay, do comment below. If you are new to me and you love what you hear, what you see, consider to subscribe and make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss the frequent weekly videos that we put out here to share God's truth and business growth, doing it the kingdom way. All right, guys, take care. God bless you. Thank you so much. See you soon. Thank you. Take care.